man? How you doing, Willie?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for having me. Who we have here today, guys, is Woodly Oralus. He is a established entrepreneur in Ocala, Florida. He is the owner of Biznick. It's a marketing company downtown in Ocala, as well as a health and fitness professional and a realtor. So there's a lot that we want to hear from him about his journey, his up and downs, and his path through business up till now. So let us hear it, Willie.
My name is Woodly Oralus. Originally born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Moved to Ocala at about 12, 13 years old. Grew up here. I would say those are my maturing years between 12 and 18. Fell in love with football and really became a really honed in scholar. If you don't have grades, you can't play.
That is true.
So I really locked in on my grades and made sure that I was the best athlete I could possibly be.
Most definitely. And you have a master's in business, right? From FAMU.
Yes, yes. I ended up graduating from Forest High School back in 2012. Went off to Florida University where I played football and I studied business. Ended up graduating with a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. My highest degree being a master's in business administration, concentrated in marketing management and marketing.
Okay. That's what's up, man. So what inspired you other than it being your hometown? What inspired you to start business in Marion County and want to stay here and really grow from here?
So a lot of people they think, oh, I need to go to a metropolitan city, a major city. When they think about New York, they think about Miami, they think about Atlanta. They're like, this is where I need to go to make it. But when I graduated, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to hit the ground running. And to hit the ground running, you need money. And you
That's
need
very
money,
true.
and you need connection. You need to be able to close deals. So when I looked into the ecosphere of like what can I do and how can I do it faster, I looked at ways where I can go and be established and make the most money possible and save the most money possible.
Mhm.
So I had 6 job offers when I graduated college at Florida University with my master's degree. Uh, One of those job offers, I was looking. I had some higher paying job offers, but I was looking at job offers that could essentially take me in city.
Mhm.
So a major corporation that has locations in any city. One of my offers was with Enterprise Rent a Car. Enterprise Rent a Car, you can rent a car in just 5 cities.
Mhm.
So that gave me the opportunity to come back home, stay at home with my parents, stash money,
Mhm.
and learn firsthand about sales acumen. Started off in the car rental division where I was a high performing salesperson, and the B2C doing B2B sales at the counter. After performing very well, matriculated and got recruited into the truck runner department. I worked at every single enterprise in Ocala, as well as the only truck rental location in Ocala.
Okay.
I was recruited into the truck rental division where I performed well. I was one of the top 3% salespeople in the nation, out of over 1,200 individuals. So perennially, I normally ended up in about top 25.
Okay.
Uh,
What was in there? Selling,
I
getting
was
it.
selling. Yeah, I worked with close some big corporations for the company, and I actually firsthand in the entrepreneurial sense helped open up the first truck rental location here in Ocala.
Mhm.
That's on 16th Avenue on Airport Road. And me and a branch manager that they brought down from Jacksonville grew that branch from scratch. And that's where I really honed in on what I do day to day, which is B2B sales. That's how I grow my business. Uh, Truck rental is business to business. You're selling our truck rental services to different businesses such as FedEx, Parker Hannifin. We did business with a lot of big manufacturers in the area. Uh, that's where I really found my style of sales.
Mhm.
I'm not a pressure sales. I'm someone like a doctor that offers a service that you have an ailment, and I just offer the prescription for your ailment. I'm not
Okay.
trying to give you extra pills that so I can make more money. I'm just offering you.
Okay.
So that's a little background on how I got to the entrepreneur. But after that, uh, I got to a point where I was doing my business and I was doing the enterprise, and I was excelling at both.
Mm-hmm.
But the business started taking off to the point where I was making more money than I made at my job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was giving the business a fraction, mere fraction of my time. And I took a trial run. I joined the chamber here. I took a trial run. And when people have paid time off, they normally just go on vacation. I took paid time off, a week off, and I took that time to experience being a full time entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
on paid government time.
That's how you do it, right? That's how you do it.
Right? So, in that 1 week, we landed some deals and the company grew more. So I was like, if I could do this in a week, what would it look like if I put all my time?
Okay.
And I took the leap. I gave an unheard of 6 week notice to the organization. They were good to me. They recruited me, and I was a huge asset to the company. And I wanted to make sure they were good before I left. I'll tip it out to the viewers at home. The way you treat somebody else's business is more likely how you're going to treat your own business. The habits you build on somebody else's job, organization, are some of the habits that you're going to carry out into your own organization. You're going to disrespect somebody else's business by not maximizing your time being the best you could possibly be or being disciplined. Um, it's like the law of the universe, something that follows. And those habits and those lessons, they have to be learned. So if you don't learn them on the job where you get paid for it, taking less risk, you're gonna learn from it on your own when you're taking all the risk and you're allocating your time, your money.
Word. I definitely agree with it. That was very insightful. Um, so being the owner of a business and we know in business the number one most important thing is sales,
Right.
right? So you being a top earner at the previous company, everybody wants to know how they can move the needle, which is get more sales. And what would you say like is just a little tidbit of advice for people that are trying to figure out how to get a needle moving worth amount of sales?
All right. So when it comes to sales, it's simple, but it's scary for a lot of individuals because they don't like to get in front of people. They don't like to talk. They don't like to offer. I kind of feel like it comes from a belief in a self worth standpoint. When you believe in what you're selling and you know it can help the individual and you know it's priced correctly, like you're not overpricing, you're competitively priced, and you're just offering the service. If the person, before somebody even to possibly your client, they have to be able to afford to pay for the service.
This is
So
true.
if they can't afford to pay for the service, they're not your client. They have to do something before they have the expendable cash in order to continue to grow the business. But if they have the funds to pay for your service, it comes down to you offering it to them and being reasonable and being a actual viable option. So you cannot be, you know, somebody that is not doing good work, doesn't have this customer service. You could talk a good game, but you're not going to stay in it at all. If you're able to offer a viable service, you have credibility. You're able to get in the door and actually close the sale. So when it comes to sales, let me say it in a more scientific sense because I really am passionate about sales. So a transaction occurs when the perceived value exceeds the actual monetary exchange. So when that person perceives the value they're going to receive from whatever product or service that you're providing, rendering to them, when that exceeds that and they have the money to spend on it, when that exceeds the actual money that's going to be exchanged, that's when the transaction in the sales service.
Okay.
So you have to be able to provide that strong sense of value to that individual and be a viable solution.
Okay. Okay, so let me ask you this. Everyone in the world of business that's an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur. So what makes Woodly Oralus different? Why did Woodly Oralus succeed? Is it the cookie cutter, or what is it about you that made a difference in your life?
So the biggest difference is people don't understand when it comes to longevity. Uh, Sometimes you have to just be in the game long enough to so because a lot of successful businesses are a plethora of micro or macro failures. And because they did not give up and they refined and became resourceful and reiterated, have several different iterations of their business, their product, their service, they're able to stand the test of time. So what sets me apart from those individuals, I took uh, the quintessential ideology of failure being final off the table because you technically do fail. You can fail in business, but not be a failure. Um, because failure is a big about success. So you can experience a failure on a daily, but that's not the death of your business or you. That could just be something that springs you learn from it and you spring forward into the next stage of what could become a mind success. So what really sets me apart is my resilience. A lot of people are resilient, but I just take the, the fatality of failure off the table. And I actually care. So that's a big major. I actually care about my name. My name means something to me. The work, the quality of work that I provide and that my team provides to the end consumer, it means something. Do what you say you're going to do. If something happens, make sure you take care of it. Make sure you make it right. And things are not going to always be perfect. Even Facebook goes down. You see T-Mobile or AT&T have outages. These are massive corporations. What do they do to make it right? I don't like sometimes they give like $5 for usage or whatever. But at least they did something. Don't be somebody that does not. Be proactive, actually care about your service, your product, and your people that you're servicing. Because you're really solving a pain point. And that pain point could be whether you're a fitness person where you're somebody overweight, you're trying to gain confidence. Maybe somebody's gone through a divorce. They're trying to find a better set of work by chiseling up their body, becoming more attractive. Or it maybe somebody's selling a house because there was a death in the family. And you're trying to make that transaction. So actually, really, I was about to say give a big, but like actually care about what you're doing because at the end of the day, it's just people doing business with people interacting with people. So you want to make sure you take care of everything you do.
Okay. So the way I like to describe being in business is like it's like being exposed to the elements. It's like living life exposed. If you work for somebody, and no knock on people that do, but if you work for somebody, it's like walking into one of these brick buildings downtown. Once you get inside to work, you are protected. If something goes wrong, it hits the brick building. It doesn't hit you. So like when you're a business owner, you have to feel the snow, the hail, the rain,
Right.
the heat. So what's the most difficult time for you along the journey so far? Because you're still young, but so far difficult time for you as a business owner.
So one of the most difficult times for me as a business owner was back in 2000. I am an individual that had some early success, true grit, hard work, perseverance, and I grew a name based off of that. I grew a name based off of being a hard worker, somebody that provides quality service, that actually is a rising star. And it seemed like everything I touched was going to go. I had a nice touch,
Mhm.
and I was doing my thing, and I garnered a lot of trust. My biggest tough time in business was when I was being overzealous and I segued into something that I was into another industry, different business venture that sucked up a lot of money out of my main bread and butter business.
Mm-hmm.
And that that lesson came to the tune of $100,000 hit in a month
Mm.
that I was not prepared to suffer. But I really tapped in, stayed praying, and I worked like crazy. And I kept working and working and working. It took years for me to respectively pay down a lot of that debt that was accrued from that. But the main thing that, like I was saying earlier in this talk, was to be able to stand the test of time. It's not, Martin Luther King Jr. says, the true test of a man is not how when he stands in times of comfort, is how he stands in times of basic chaos and consequence.
Mm-hmm.
What I did was when I stood in times of chaos and controversy, I didn't run away. I looked at individuals that were old in the eye. I made a plan on how the debt was going to be paid, and I took action on it.
Okay.
And even though it took time, I still took it. So that's why I still have a solid and respectable business stature in this community based off of being somebody who, one of my mentors, very, very successful, multi-millionaire, probably he's been in the hundreds of millions. And he told me this while I was going through what I was doing. Woodley, he said, most people are only good when things are good. Most people are only going to be good people when things are good. You're able to get the money. You're able to be able to sort their ego and status, whatever. And that goes with relationships as well. And you see a lot of couples fall out when financial difficulties hit. Most people are good people when things are good.
Mm-hmm.
It really shows the character of the individual, how they are when things are bad, when they cannot meet an obligation, when they cannot be there for you as expected or at all. And the beautiful thing about me is I don't stay down for long. Kept working, put my head down, and dug myself out. By the grace of God and the grace of some really, really outstanding, great people that did not drop the hammer on me from my shortcomings. And I thank God for those people.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Thank you for sharing that because people deal with a lot of things pertaining to business and life, and they don't always know what to do. So if they watch this, then they get to hear how you handled it, and that could be something that inspires them to do better. What advice would you give somebody new to Ocala, and they're thinking about being an entrepreneur? They want to start a business. They're excited and they want to go. What's the first thing you're going to tell them?
Get out, start networking, meet new people. Sometimes, and majority of the time, most of the sales that you generate are not going to come from the people that you know already, or the friends of the people that you know already. Some of the biggest successes and biggest deals that you will get will come from completion. So get out, meet new people, become an expert, true expert at your craft, or very knowledgeable about what product you're selling. And actually care. Actually care about the people that you're servicing, because at the end of the day, they're people just like yourself. They're not just another dollar. They're not just another check. But they're actually individuals that probably have set out, have dreams to build a business just like yourself, or they're also individuals that are going through something, especially like in fitness. A lot of times, people, it's like a sense of therapy. People are trying to redefine themselves and actually care about what you're doing to help them along that journey. Because the impact that you have on those individuals, let's say in a business sense, you're able to help them achieve their dreams, provide for their family, create jobs that provide for other 50% through whatever service you're in. If it's coming from a fitness sense, you're helping somebody feel better about themselves. Maybe they're getting on the verge of suicide. And because you were kind to them and then you help them feel better about themselves, they're to stay here alone and then help others. If it's coming from a real estate sense, if you're selling your house to a loss of family member, you're going to see that grieving process. Just be mindful about what you put out there because a lot of times you read what you say.
Okay. So aside from marketing and realty, what's next for you in business? What's next?
What's next for me is continue to refine the system that we have, take care of the people that we're servicing, continue to offer our service offer to new individuals because they can be readily used by them as well. And also look to really instill good values in the individual within the organization that I'm a part of or have created. I don't want to just have an organization that just does good sales, generates a lot of money, and just services own clients. I want it to be a great working environment for the individuals that are part of the organization where they can come and be happy and see their goals and their dreams be at within that organization. They may not become millionaires, but they may be able to provide for their family adequately and have a sense of peace of mind and happiness in the way that they
Okay. Okay. Appreciate that. And not to mention, we did say something in the beginning, but my guy here, Woodley, is also a fellow health and fitness professional. So he's definitely somebody you want to be motivated by. So if you need to get in shape, turn your life around, hit my guy up. He'll definitely put that into you to get you started. I appreciate you, man, for having me.
absolutely Jordan. There's a couple of fitness things you can teach me about.
Yeah. I'm coming back along to get back where I want to be with the fitness, man. I'm gonna definitely turn it back up soon here. We're gonna get our workout in. But hopefully, in the near future, I'll see you around the gym and we can go ahead and get a burning session in.
Oh yeah.
Walk out dead one time. All right.
This was actually good. I enjoyed this.
Yes, I appreciate it, man. It's a new podcast, and I'm trying to get better as long as I go. And I thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Yes, sir.